It was in the 2nd century that the great Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but your perception of it. And this you have the power to change or revoke at any moment." The emperor touched upon what today we call reframing, essentially our ability to change our representation or perception about anything, and in an instant change how we feel, and therefore how we act. Reframing, a huge and potent tool in our arsenal of self-awareness, is what we need now, as we gird to do battle with Covid-19, that invisible beast that has brought mankind to its collective knees, threatens to hold hostage the very underpinnings of our societies, and holds the potential to consume and engulf our way of life as we have come to know it. The one thing Covid-19 cannot take away from us is our ability to run our brain, to direct our personal kingdom, to choose our thoughts. Well, what are our thoughts? Our thoughts are the vehicle through which we create meaning and evaluate meaning in our world. And now, amidst the destruction, devastation, and despair that increasingly appears to encircle our globe, the struggle to find purpose and meaning in it all must become the centerpiece of our lives. Marcel Proust, one of the most influential authors of the 20th century, would, almost 2,000 years later, pick up where the emperor left off when he wrote, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in finding new landscapes, but in having new eyes." Will Covid-19 give us new eyes to see how interconnected, interdependent our global family truly is? When a pathogen 1,000th the width of a human hair emanating from one part of the globe can, with lightning speed, convulse and engulf societies thousands of miles away? Will we have new eyes to ask, where will all our gold, our wealth, our possessions get us at a moment like this, when our private jets are grounded with no one to fly them, our fancy restaurants are shuttered with no one to staff them, our private schools are in lockdown with no one to man them? Will Covid-19 give us new eyes when we look at eerily barren grocery shelves to realize just how much we have always taken for granted? The list can go on and on. But Covid-19, with all its trials and tribulations, does hold one silver lining. If, with new eyes, we can begin to shift our habitual perception patterns, how we think, we can then embark on two transformational journeys. Firstly, we must challenge existing assumptions about the way things have been, are, and need to be in order to make for a more just, compassionate, and inclusive world. Secondly, we must find more useful and more meaningful context for the events occurring in our lives, essentially reframing how we see ourselves and our world. In so doing, we could begin to embrace every future challenge and make it a model of possibility. I have always believed there is value in virtually every human experience, if you truly look for it. Yes, even in destruction, despair, devastation, there is value if you truly look for it. And perhaps a start at truly looking for it is to look into ourselves, asking ourselves, and God alone knows we have the time to do so now, asking ourselves, who am I? Why of all people was I blessed to be put upon this earth? even though the journey is fleeting and, as we can now see, fragile. What is my purpose in life? When we are blessed with that kind of internal awareness, I promise you we will be in a far better place to see glimmers of light, of reason, and of hope in our collective path ahead. My friends, we will get to the other side. How? Simply by faithfully doing what our seasoned, experienced, thoughtful public health experts have ceaselessly exhorted us to do. Stay at home. It has never been easier to save human lives. Yes, living in a prolonged, somewhat closeted environment will have its downside. Relationships will be tested. In this challenging, unprecedented time, we will find the best in us and the worst in us. We will discover what is meaningful and what is not. And cloistered though we may be, in a very real sense, we are not alone. We know that at this moment in time, virtually all of humanity is similarly cloistered. All of us bound together in one gigantic virtual embrace, as we hold our collective breath and wait for that sliver of light that we know will eventually pierce the darkness. Indeed, it is not so much whether we will get to the other side, it is rather what will we look like when we get to the other side. Let's face it, even before COVID-19 struck, much of our world was already infected with a virus. The virus of greed, of selfishness, and above all a cavalier attitude towards the very survival of our planet. But COVID-19, amongst other things, has allowed Mother Nature to fight back. With global economic activity virtually grinding to a screeching halt, and the attendant pollution and emissions forcibly scaled back, bluer skies have begun to emerge. Our water is clearer, our air is cleaner. It's almost as if Mother Nature is really whispering, "See, just give me a chance and I'll show you what I can do." Will we now, with new eyes, find it in ourselves to give her that chance? One final thought. Will we have new eyes to look at the sheer enormity of mankind's current resources and dare to dream that we can redeploy those resources to make for that more just, compassionate, and inclusive world? If nothing else, this beast has made us understand that at root, we are one global family. Can we then dare to dream that the legacy of this invisible scourge could become our new global mantra? It could go something like this: live simply so that others may simply live. COVID-19 has mauled our fragile world in ever-widening circles of contagion. We can fight back by forging ever-widening circles of belonging, from family to friends to fellow citizens to society to humanity. If somehow we can transform this experience and find an empowering meaning for our pain, we can together, once again, rise up on the wings of the morning. Thank you for watching. Stay safe for yourself and your world. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As well, I welcome your thoughts in the comment section below.